Thank you for tuning into 2TTV. I'm your host, Toya, and today is Expression Thursday. And I am so honored to have this guest with us today, my friend, a good friend from back in the banking days, ReAnna. How you doing today, ReAnna?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing wonderful, wonderful. So I wanted to have you on the show because you do something that not a lot of women do. And I really wanted to showcase that because it's something that you do. And I'm proud of you. I remember when you were even just thinking about doing it and you stepped out to decide to do it. And I was so proud of you for it because so many times people allow their fears to kind of grab a hold of them and prevent them from doing things. So I'm going to let you talk about it and introduce what you do. So how do you express yourself to the world?
Well, thank you so much for the compliment.
Yes.
But mainly through plus size modeling and photo shoots. I got into it because I was just tired of society putting a restraint on plus bodies, making it seem like, oh, plus bodies, we're not fit, we're unhealthy, we don't have fashion sense, we can't be models, we can't have great opportunities, careers. So I wanted to put it into that. And I really had a passion for modeling and fashion, just from what I've seen on TV, fashion shows, the big ones, New York Fashion Week, London Fashion Week. And I said, hey, I want to do that. So I saw an opportunity here in Detroit for a casting call. And I knew nothing about modeling, and I went and I was accepted. And so I told myself, hey, if you have the confidence to do this at the size that you're at, go out there and show the world and tell other women that they can do this too. They don't need someone to tell them that they're beautiful. They need to find a self-love within themselves and let the world know that they are beautiful. Go ahead and have an opportunity to stand out on yourself. Let the world see you for who you are, and don't let society dictate and determine your path in life. So I express myself through modeling, and I have been pretty successful in it.
I would say you have been as well. And I would even go back to the banking days before you even started this. You did a good job. You always had your hair together. You always had your makeup done. You were always dressed nice. So even back then. Yeah, so even back then you were still doing the thing, okay? And I remember when you started with the modeling, you was like, this is just something I always wanted to do. And I was just so proud of you for just stepping out and doing it. Because like you said, there isn't a large representation for plus size women out there, especially in this area. And we do have a lot of stigmatism behind it. So I just thought it was wonderful. And you take some gorgeous pictures. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. So what would you say are some of the tools that you use to help you with the modeling?
Definitely social media and networking, showing up at events, talking to people at the different events locally, getting to know the different designers and the show producers, talking to them and asking them, what are they looking for, and just presenting myself to them. So networking at the local events and definitely social media, following your famous, plus size models like Tabria, who's always modeling for Torrid, and then you have Ashley Graham and Tess Holiday, and just kind of viewing to see how they put themselves out there and looking at tips and advice from them. So yes.
Okay, I'm gonna put myself out there for this. You started naming people. I'm like, okay, I don't know who these. And you said Torrid, and I'm like, okay, yeah, those are models that be in them clothing magazines.
Yes. Especially Tabria, she's the main one for the clothes and the lingerie and bras and panties. Yes.
So, like I said, I didn't even think about that. Like, for whatever reason, because usually when we think of models, we think of like your runways, your runway models, and Paris and all of that. But you sometimes forget, at least I know I do, sometimes forget, like we see models all the time in these catalogs. It's not just the people in the magazines. It's not just the ones in the runway. You see them all the time in catalogs, all different kinds. Like I noticed the ones in not Ashley Stewart, Lane Bryant, for example. I noticed it's this, I when I'm looking through the clothes, I be like, look at her, she got some sass to her, but I just keep going, and it just, for whatever reason, I didn't put two and two together.
Right, right. And a lot of people don't, because when people think of modeling, everyone does think of runway. They don't think of the campaigns. They don't think of print modeling and, things like that. And fit models, that's where they customize clothing, like the sizes to the measurements of your body type. So it's so many different areas of modeling out there besides the runway that people don't think about.
Yes, yes, and I would attest to it. That's why I said I'm gonna go and put myself out there because I know somebody else was probably thinking the same thing I was. So if you were talking to somebody else, like who may have wanted to do something like modeling, or but just really don't feel like they are, good enough for it, because that's one of the things, one of the traits with a lot of women is we feel like we're not good enough, like we don't measure up to the people that we see in these publications all the time and on TV and everything. What advice would you give them, or was there something somebody said to you that just made you say, okay, let me go on ahead and do this now?
I would say the best advice for this business, you have to have self-love and confidence and just believe in yourself, because it is a tough business. People are always going to critique you. People critique you in just regular things in life, period, right?
Yes.
But the best advice, you have to have a tough skin as well. And never compare yourself to someone else, because someone is going to see something in you that they might not have ever seen in anyone else, that's going to make you stand out and push you forward.
I would agree with that. Yep.
So you have to have confidence within yourself. I mean, there are so many models out there now that's walking the runway, especially like in New York Fashion Week, that have like disabilities, and, they might not have been shaped like the standard model. The one model, I forget her name, she passed away, I believe, a year ago. She only had one leg. You have those in wheelchairs. You have those plus size, different body shapes now. Still not my size, but now, on the runway. So you have to find your niche, find your self-confidence, and put yourself out there, and definitely do your research as well.
I will agree with that. And even as far as going back to the different ones, I remember I saw this article about this young lady, and they were talking about her because she had that really dark, beautiful African skin. And I mean, just absolutely gorgeous, and skin just flawless. And, they were talking about how she's becoming a sensation on the runway and all this. And I'm sitting there thinking, why is this such a big deal? Because her skin color, because she's so dark, she's still beautiful, and her skin was absolutely gorgeous. So it's like, why wouldn't you say she was gorgeous or wasn't worth the runway? Like, that just kind of baffled me. Like, what?
Because believe it or not, like, as African Americans, we're still trying to be accepted in all areas as well. So that's a whole nother issue, especially when it comes to high-end modeling.
Yeah.
And doing like the New York Fashion Weeks, the London Fashion Weeks, LA Fashion Weeks, and everything. I mean, you see African American models, but how many dark skinned ones do you see?
That's true. I mean,
that's a whole nother issue.
Yeah. And then I did grow up with the days of Grace Jones, so, that's who was the big known black model when I was coming up. Everybody knew who Grace Jones was. And then what's the other lady? I can see her face just as clear as day, but I cannot think of her name right now.
Beverly Johnson, or
no, she had an accent. Imani. Yep, Imani.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, but you're right. It is we are underrepresented. If I could talk.
Them and then like Tyra Banks.
Yep.
But we're talking about over a course of years, how many are well known?
Exactly.
How many are accepted? When you're watching these shows on TV, what do you see the most?
Yeah, exactly.
And they get thousands of people auditioning.
Yep, that is true.
So
that is true.
Hey.
All right. Well, anything else you would advise anybody? Anything else you want to add to this?
I would just have to say, go out there and do your thing, no matter what it is. Don't worry about society. Take control of your path, of your future, and just rock it out.
That is some excellent advice. Excellent. So I hope you guys enjoyed the gems that she dropped today, because She just gave you 100% truth. Okay. Like, you do need to build your confidence. You can't judge yourself off of other people, and then just go out there and do it. Like, just
Yes.
take that chance on yourself. If you're going to take a chance on something, take a chance on yourself to do something that you want to do that may be outside of your box, or something that's a little unusual for people in your community or in your environment that you're in every day. And just take that chance and go out there and try it, because you could be that one that actually gets to do it, and you never wouldn't even know it if you never even tried. So
Yes.
so I really hope you guys really listen and heard what she said and the message that she delivered, and really take it to heart and really try to make some changes in your life and step out. So, but I thank you so much, ReAnna, for being on here.
My pleasure.
I really thank you. I really appreciate it. And I really enjoyed this. Like I said before, I'm very proud of you and what you have been doing and the work you've been doing. It hasn't gone unnoticed. Even if people aren't saying anything to you, they see you. They see you.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. That's very uplifting. I appreciate that.
Yes. Well, I love you so much. Thank you guys for listening. If you like this, please like, subscribe, and share. Because if you got something out of this content, then I'm sure somebody else will as well. So I love you guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow.